Hello everybody, this is my full video on how to fix SteamVR Error 436. Okay, the first thing you want to do is make sure that all the cables are properly connected, including the controller, the headset, and the base station. Are connected to the PC or link box, ensure that they are firmly connected, and look for any signs of wear or damage on the cables. Replace them if necessary. One thing that you definitely want to check out is that they are connected to the correct USB ports. You might want to try different USB ports on your PC. Some PCs, like mine, have some USB ports that utilize 3.1, 3.0 USB, and some of the USB ports are too old. So only some of the USB ports on my PC can support VR, and many of them cannot. So make sure that you give that a try before moving forward with anything else. The next thing you want to do is restart SteamVR and your PC, of course. Then after you've done that, you want to update your drivers. I'm not going to show you too much how to do that, but you should have an app like NVIDIA app here, and you can update the drivers. Okay, the next thing you want to do is open up Steam, go to library, find SteamVR in your library. You want to right click on it, go to properties, go to updates, and from this pull down menu you want to click on immediately download updates and see if there are any updates to download. Now if this was running on an older version of SteamVR and it is no longer running, what you want to do is roll back this software. You can do that by going into betas here, clicking on this and clicking on the previous version. Now even if it wasn't running before, you might want to try running the beta version of SteamVR. Now this might cause more problems than it solves, but it also might be something that you want to give a shot just to see if it fixes the issue. Okay, oh, and if that still isn't working, you might want to try uninstalling SteamVR and reinstalling it to see if that fixes the issue. Okay, the next step is to go into SteamVR itself. We're going to change a couple of different settings. The first step we want to do is remove all SteamVR USB devices and reconnect them. So how do you do that? Click on the three little bars here, go down to Developer and Developer Settings. You'll see this page open, scroll down, and then you'll see a button saying remove all SteamVR USB devices. Click on that, and you want to physically remove the VR headset from your computer for 30 seconds, reconnect it, and wait for Windows to reinstall the drivers for it and see if that fixes the issue. The next thing you want to do is on the very top here, you see something called Direct Display Mode. You want to enable direct display mode. What is direct display mode? So this basically forces the VR headset into SteamVR as an input for SteamVR, and it makes it so Windows does not recognize it as an external monitor. And make sure that you do that to see if that fixes the issue. Okay, you also want to verify integrity of the game files, properties, installed files, verify integrity of game files. Do that, see if that works. The next thing you want to do is go into your device manager. I don't have a VR headset connected currently, but it will be under Universal Serial Bus Controller, probably. It might also be under human interface devices, but it'll probably be under Universal Serial Bus Controller. Okay, what you want to do is right click on the VR headset, which will probably be under here. Go to Properties. Under Power Management, you want to uncheck Allow this computer turn off device to save power. And then after you've done that, click OK. You also want to right click on it and say Update Driver to see if there are any drivers, any updates for the driver. Okay. Also, if you're using a Vive or something like that, make sure that there is no interference with the base stations or the beacons. Make sure there's no direct light or reflective surfaces that interfere with the tracking. Reposition the base stations or remove any reflective surfaces. Make sure the base stations are powered, correctly angled, and not obstructed. They should form a clear X pattern across your play space. Make sure that your VR headset or tracking hardware is updated and the firmware is updated. What you also want to do is go into the BIOS. Generally, you go into the BIOS with delete F2 or F12, hold that down while rebooting the computer. Now you want to check for enable USB 3.0, or you want to disable anything like legacy USB support, and see if that might perhaps fix the issue. The next thing you want to do is go into compatibility mode and run it like that. So how do you do that? Click on the File Explorer here, go into C, Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, SteamVR, Bin, and you're gonna see two files, Win32 and Win64. If you're in Windows 32-bit, of course, go to 32-bit. If you're on 64, go to 64. And here you want to look for a file called vrserver.exe. You want to right-click on this. You want to go to Properties, and you want to click on the Compatibility tab, and you want to click on Run this program in compatibility mode for Windows 7 or Windows 8. It doesn't matter if you're in Windows 7 or Windows 8, you still want to give it a try and see if this fixes the issue. Okay. The next thing you want to do is make sure that it's allowed through your firewall. So go to Search on the bottom left, go to Settings. From here on the left hand side, you're going to see Network and Internet. This is my internet. I'm currently using an Ethernet cable to connect to the internet, so mine will be an Ethernet. So click on Ethernet. And by default, it says public network recommended and private network. You want to turn this to a private network to see if that fixes your issue. For some reason, this is a common issue for VR headsets, depending on the headset. By the way, if you are on Wi-Fi, and you might want to consider changing to a Ethernet cable to see if that might fix the issue. It doesn't seem like it would fix the issue, but it definitely does. The next thing you want to do is go into msconfig, system configuration, go into services, click on hide all services, and click on disable all. Okay, great. Now next you want to go into task manager, so type in Control-Shift-Escape at the same time, and click on startup apps. You can sort by startup impact, and you want to basically end all apps that are, well, not necessary. You also want to consider turning off any kind of anti-cheat software, especially software that's something like Valorant or Marvel Rivals or Counter-Strike has anti-cheat software that starts when the computer starts, and this doesn't play well with SteamVR. So that's something that you might want to consider. Okay, that is it. If this helped you, leave the video a like and please subscribe. If it didn't help you, leave the video a comment and I will do my best to get back to